Aho, and welcome to Synergy. This is a relaxing survival city builder type of game. It's in early access, inspired by the art from Moebius. Very cool. Looks like Dr. Seuss drew it or something, but very interesting. I really do like this game in terms of like the look and feel, and I think a lot of love has been put into it. But yeah, I'm gonna go through this game. We're gonna kind of hold each other's hands and play the game, if that is allowed. I've done almost all of the tutorial. There was this one part that I got stuck on, so I think we will just go in with maybe the story, because why not begin there? Or we could do a sandbox, but why not have a story if we have some sort of score-based system? I think, yeah, let's do original mode. Make it harder for me. Make it harder for me, and hopefully chat here will guide me to serenity. But yes, like I said, a very beautiful game. Anchoring. The world as we know it is frightfully small. Our lives are short and our days exhausting. We scrape our food off stones, eating it the very same day. We live in isolation and are not sufficiently aware of other human beings living beyond the sea of sand to regret our parting with them. However, not everyone accepts this condition as inevitable. We are an organization of explorers and researchers named the Anchoring. Its mission is to try and connect isolated populations. Today, and for the first time, we call on our members to gather and take an anthropological census in the area. Before that, however, we need to lay our outpost's first foundations. Our first mission is therefore to provide our researchers with adequate shelter and build the first necessity structures. Quick pause before I do get started with anything else. Let's just do that. And also, I did receive a key to this game for free. I was about to go after it, but it was conveniently in my inbox, so thanks for the key. But yeah, I'm going to try to provide some feedback here if I can, and we do actually have, like, objectives as we go through. I'm still kind of getting the hang of things here. Anyway, so we need stone houses, which should be fairly easy. So the whole name of the game here is to feed our families. I'm going to make this a very boring grid-based kind of American city, because this game is isometric, and isometric games truly are superior, but at the same time, I do think that the art style here would be interesting if we could, like, make everything very curvy, but it's very impressive to be playing a game that's almost entirely, like, hand-drawn like this, the way it is. We're going to build a cellar. This is basically the area where they're going to, I think it's storing the goods in here. And then a picker's cabin, which, well, obviously that's for picking. Nose picking, you ask? The answer is no. Nose picking will occur in the houses. Picking will be of, say, for example, vegetables and other things that are available in the area, but we have these boreal rocks floating overhead. So let's go ahead and rip out some of these boreal rocks. We will bore into the ground for the boreal rocks, and howdy-ho, look, everything is just beginning and being undertaken. So this game takes place in sort of like... Oh, we don't really need... I will click to hide. I'm going to unreplay the tutorials. Apparently we're getting, like, objectives for our missions here, but the whole idea of this game is that we're living in sort of like an apocalyptic world, I believe, or like something bad has happened. Global warming, the incident, that kind of deal. And we have all these kind of like Seussical structures that we are going to place. We're going to go ahead and put our water, what do they call this? A pontoon. Pontoon is a home of a Florida man. And we have a purification basin, and we can rotate these just a little bit from their kind of like hand-drawn thing. Let's go ahead and just try to make way for multiple of these. Maybe... one here and one here. We're going to need a couple of these things. I actually just built way too many, but oh well, whatever. Let's just get multiple anyway. We're going to need somewhere to store this water. I'm not sure whether I have seen them like store the water in this way. I think if we just put it nearby these things, this should be fine. This should store all of the water from these, though this is going to be way too much water. Okay, good enough. Let's just build a lot, because they're going to be very thirsty people. So we're building the cellar. We have a picker's cabin. They're just getting to work on this. Got a little bit more to do here. Oh, well, yeah, you're right. That is a pun, technically. Fair enough. How now, brown cow? I feel like, I'm not going to be so critical about this game because it is kind of like a relaxing style game. And that is sort of what it is just meant to be. Really, the focus here is the art style, so it's more catered to a relaxing-based audience. I already think that, to be totally honest with you, this market in game sales is a little oversaturated, or at least I'm not a huge fan of the cozy genre, but I really like the art of this game, and it popped out to me. Maybe because of, well, I used to watch Peter Draws, and I still do from time to time. He's a very good YouTuber, but yeah, he makes art that's like kind of inspired by this. It's like ink drawings, and he does. There's another artist named Scott Teplin. He did a thing with just really, really brilliant stuff, and it kind of reminded me of this Moebius-Inspired stuff. But beautiful, beautiful stuff. Peter Draws. Ooh, Y4 is a fan of Peter Draws. Honestly, great taste. But yeah, there's all these beautiful art books, and it's sort of like peeking one's head into an art book in order to play this game. So very nice animations here going on, but I guess the one thing I might like to see is a little bit more like interaction with some of the colonists to see how they're doing, because everyone just sort of gets diseased and dies right now. All right, so we're to be building 5 stone houses. We have 5 out of 5 just about done now. We have the purification basins completed. We need to assign some workers over here. We have the pontoon. It's so good to say pontoon. Also, Quantum Foam, thank you very much for the 18 months. Appreciate you. We have now the basic equipment for our outpost, but seem to be victims of our own success. The call to join the anchoring reached more people than expected. Scientists, neophytes, onlookers are arriving from all over to trade for knowledge. If we don't increase our food yield, we risk a lack in resources. We need to anticipate these needs and collect as much food and clean water as possible. 2 adults and 3 kids have joined the city. Now, children grow up in, I think it's 1 cycle, which sounds like a day, but that's more like a seasonal cycle here, I do believe. You can, like, check on the upcoming weather here, too, because you are basically at the mercy of the seasons as it goes. We're going to go ahead and just continue building all the things needed for survival. Now, we do have, like, expeditions and stuff, but there doesn't really appear to be any major adversary in the game, which I guess could be, like, you know, like, not as satisfying of a mechanic. I'm going to try to build this in the midst of our stuff that's happening. Actually, I guess I could do it over here. It would be nice if I had access to the kitchen from somewhere else, because there are, like, districts we're going to be building sooner or later. So, simple dishes and clean water. You know, maybe I could have put that near the picker's cabin. Let me just destroy that. So violent am I. All right, whatever. I'll put it over here instead. Just a little bit less time. Okay, so the picking needs to be designated, naturally. We're going to select some items for picking. But what is there to pick, honestly? We need, like, sort of bulbous, fruity orbs in order to eat. I think I'm just going to indiscriminately pick everything. Normally, I should sort of, like, research this, but I'm just going to do it anyway and see what happens if everyone just dies. Because we really don't have anything to lose. We don't have anything at all to begin with, so why not start there? And let's go ahead and just, we're going to assign more people to these other areas. The pontoon appears to require more stuff. Okay, we are creating clean water. Let's just assign more people to the purification basins. Now, we do have how many villagers in here? We have 17 plus 3. Some children are joining. How many can we actually house in each of these areas? Housing, does it actually show me? 4 out of 4. So we've got 17, so we have more than enough room in these houses. Generally speaking, the way to get more people is to just build more houses, I think. What is this, like some sort of wart emerging from the ground? I'm just going to continue building in the American way, because how else should I live my life? We will rip out some of these trees, though, perhaps, because they're getting in the way of my civilization. Unacceptable. The music, The graphics, it's all beautiful. Except there's really no adversary. No adversary to be had here. I suppose except for, like, perhaps the elements themselves. So we're doing some toxic water harvesting. I guess let's get even more citizens on this because, well, just why not? Let's go ahead and speed up time. Are we actually getting enough of this toxic water we said we would get out of the ground? Okay, we are getting some clean water. That's good. A little bit of clean water is being served. You're purifying the just crap water. Good. More people are being assigned to this. Have we got anyone assigned? We don't have anyone actually assigned to the kitchen. Let's do that. We're also going to do, oh, what do we even have ingredients for? We could get out like a sort of an analysis tent or something like that. We're also going to need a small warehouse. I know the game hasn't really told me to do this, but I do believe this is going to be a useful task.
GOG. I love your content and commentary.
Oh, that was kind of slightly odd. El Papa Bear, thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate you. Hope you've been enjoying the videos. Or at least something in your life has been enjoyable, if it's not the videos, you know. I'm not selfish. It doesn't have to be me, but, you know, I hope that at least something is going your way. Or maybe you'll win the lottery or something. Yeah, you never know. You never know what TTS is going to do, too. What that TTS do. Ashy pancakes, mushroom soup, pod stew. Let's attempt a pod stew, because that is kosher. We have cabbage shrubs, except that we don't know what we will obtain from them. So what we need to go ahead and do, so we've got like our storage tents. We need a field laboratory. We've got through like so many of the structures, which is quite surprising. Oh, we need technological artifacts here. Not very cash money. I probably shouldn't have destroyed that mushroom. I wonder if, let's see what else. Rough oatmeal. Ugh. Rough oatmeal. What else could we potentially gather as, like, let's go back to our picker's cabin here. Picker cabin. What have thee? So if we aren't able to perform analysis, what it could be in the straw tree? I guess we just have to sort of guess at what foods are being stored here. Oh, or we can just wait and see. Do we have any carbon bulbs? I mean, isn't that basically all fruit? The nomenclature here is wonderful, truly. Hang on a moment. We need to figure this out or we'll all starve to death. Chad, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm an idiot. Idiot. Okay, well, that's what we're just going to name this one. Game saved, idiot. Normally we were able to, like, build an analysis tent, except right now I don't seem to have any technological artifacts, so how are we supposed to make any of these dishes? Pod stew. What about rough oatmeal? Mushroom soup. Is that acceptable? Ashy pancakes. I can't even make ashy pancakes. Okay, it's back to pod stew then. Cabbage shrubs. Hail Papa Bear. Thank you very much. Straw tree. This wasn't like the tutorial. I need help. I need a lot of help. Maybe we could get something, like just punch something out of the ground. I mean, the only other thing that we haven't built is this. This crap, which we use for, like, expedition research. We don't even have the thing required for that. Yeah, we're supposed to be able to build this. We need vegetables. Could we just take this out of the ground? Going to work. Left to eat. So you mean if we haven't analyzed, then we can't even see it? It's kind of odd. This is like not what came up in the tutorial. I mean, I've got the warehouse tent. Do we have any? We do have ashy kernels in there, perhaps. No, we don't actually. We don't have anything. We don't even have I mean, we could go find some technological artifacts on the ground. What about that? Is there anything else we could just rip out of the ground? Oh, what is this? Oh, we could totally take this out of the ground. Okay, we will rip that out. All right, I'm an idiot, but I figured it out. I'm an idiot with critical thinking skills. Amazing. Can I increase the volume of my microphone? Everyone keeps asking it. Everyone says that I'm a little quiet nowadays. I've just gotten a little bit quieter. I could increase my gain. Aho! We have figured out how to get the technological artifacts simply by ripping out this crap from the ground. I'm going to take some people off of the pontooning, because there's simply no reason to be doing that. I just think that we overbuilt here, and there was no reason. There was no reason to do so. So we're going to send a citizen out over here to the ruins to hopefully get one of these technological artifacts, because we need that in order to create a field laboratory. And then see what's in the bushes that are being picked so that we can understand what fruits are being had. And it looks like someone's coming back with those ruins right now. Let's go ahead and see if there's any more of those ruins. We are able to get it. God, I'm really expecting someone to speak for the trees with all of this in the background. Now, I'm aware that Dr. Seuss isn't the same as Moebius, but it does look a lot like it. Also, maybe I'm just horribly butchering the pronunciation of Is it Moebius or Moebius? It's Mobin time. Oh, who is on the pontoon? What is being had? It could be... Oh, God, they're all, like, stuck on the pontoon. Maybe I need to just get rid of this. Let's destroy this because it seems like they're getting stuck here in their pathing. Eliminate the purification basin. It's more like an entrapment Ponzi scheme kind of thing going on right there. Look, everyone's buying into it. Good. Oh, for God's sake, they're still stuck in the pontoon. Or are they? I mean, they must be. Okay, let's see if we can just delete that, not elite it. That doesn't make any sense. Right, that's like slightly odd. It's a little tricky to tell whether that's like a what you see is what you get kind of thing, or whether that's actually something that's, well, legitimately bad. It looks like that they seem to be stuck somehow, though, between this shoreline and this, so let's just get rid of that. And it's hard to tell whether they're just standing there out of ennui. Okay, no, yeah, all right, so there we go. They are no longer entrapped by the sinister pontoon. Let's go ahead and assign someone to the field laboratory. We will do surface analysis, which is a very important task, so that we can figure out what is the content of the shrubs, the fungus around us, the fungus among us. Among us, by the way. Let's see if we can get... Okay, no, that's more or less the same plant. They do look slightly different. And what about these, like, truffula trees, basically? All right, cool. Anyway, the reason why I'm doing this field laboratory analysis is because we kind of need to know what's in these trees in order to... Here we go. Construction completed. Pontoon. Okay, let's send people back to the pontoon. We just had this slight pathfinding thing there. Amazing. Wow. I can't believe that some people are standing in the pontoon and coming in and out now. So we have vegetables are being had, which is honestly amazing. We are able to get watery pods and straw trees. Now, this is where it gets really Seussical, you know? Trunks that are easy to rip out from the ground, ripping out, and we get tree trunks. But these sort of bulbous, gonadical, red fruits are exciting to harvest. So we're going to take some more of these back to the field laboratory. The laboratory. Laboratory, yes. Let's connect that up there, give it a little bit more space. The art is very relaxing, even though if it's, you know, it's fairly basic, I think, in its mechanics. It works. We just had a slight little pathfinding thing here and there, but, you know, these are, like, little things, I suppose. We've got... I like the way that this liquid congeals in the cylindrical tube. Isn't that satisfying to see that animated? It's just so much love has been put into every detail. Like, you know, even if the simulation of the colony is rather simple, it does work, and it's just so zen to watch what's going on around. I do wish that my people had a little bit more, like, they do have these needs. They will get sick from time to time, probably soon because I'm mistreating them. But now we have our field laboratory. Now, from which plants are we obtaining the fruits? Let's have maybe some more picking occurring. Maybe perhaps there's too much picking occurring. That is just confusion among us. But whatever, I digress. Let's have another picker. There we go. Okay, so now we finally have the stuff that was needed in order to get the pickings. And now that allows us to get the gonadical fruits. And once we have the gonadical fruits, then we are able to construct the simple dishes. And then enlightenment is achieved. Except all of my houses look more or less exactly the same, which I guess I'm just okay with that. But we do want to meet our citizens' needs. We're going to have to start constructing hospitals sooner or later. Is there anything else that we could potentially create? What about this? We don't really have the resources for that yet, nor do we have the resources for that. That's even harder. Yeah, I think pod stew is perhaps the best of options right now. The best among options. Why are we not going to... Hang on a second. Let me just limit their choices here a minute. Awooga! We have completed the analysis report of the fruit. I love the combination of science, and art, and just goofy talk, you know? Like, it gets me back into kind of an artistic mood, just to play this game, you know? Maybe it's more enjoyable for me as, like, a streamer, you know? As a streamer, what I think is this. My nuanced opinion that I'm about to express for everyone to listen to and make me feel important is this. We've got this kitchen cooking the gonadical fruits, the watery pods, and the basic foodstuffs of the vegetables, which don't contain much moisture and are rather stringy when eaten raw, which taste much better when cooked in complete dishes in bold. Man, whoever did the writing, even words like epidermis, someone's writing a lot of dirty stuff for this game. Humidity, lumps. It's just the type of game that makes me think that whoever was writing it was like libidinous for the words and the art in the game, which is really the only way to create a game, you know. It is amazing, the aesthetic of this game, that is to say. Okay, so we are actually starting to pick some of the gonadical red fruits off of the trees, bring them into the kitchen, and then cook them on the grill. We have 3 more people moving in. We're going to need more houses soon. I'm going to build... I suppose we could build more. I think I would rather just keep it in stone. Now we can build them in the other orientation, but we can't really build them in... Whoops, I accidentally just activated sticky keys when you pressed shift 5 times. Hang on a second, let me just do that again. I'm on a new computer and I need to deactivate that. Have you ever done that and you just think that you're being, like, attacked by a cyber terrorist or something? That's what I always think. That always happens when I'm in, like, a word processor and I keep trying to start the sentence and I think of something, so I hold down the shift key. And then it goes beep. And, you know, but it just upsets me. Because I was about to have my 5th good idea, but I accidentally pressed sticky keys. So it happens to the best of us from time to time. And I'm not saying that I'm the best of us, but I'm definitely not the worst of us. The scientific method. Question, hypothesis, experiment, analysis, and conclusion. The latest arrivals are disappointed with the scientific equipment at their disposal. Also, they believe we haven't performed the necessary preliminary analyses during our anthropological mission. Any lack of knowledge about the area exposes our team to useless risks. However, they are offering to start these analyses and want a field laboratory dedicated to botany and mycology. There's a fungus among us again. along with a research center to bring together our technological projects. All we have to do is build these using blueprints they shared with us. I love their funny hats. Okay, 3 adults and 1 kid have joined the city. Build a research center. Aho. Okay, it's time to get going. Oh, my brothers. Let's go in and do another research center. We have the doohickeys required and the widgets needed. I really do wish that they gave them names like that, because I feel as though this game would dispose itself to the having of widgets and doohickeys, as well as a predilection for maybe some thingamabobs, you know? Like that could be germane in this type of universe, to be frank with you. All right, let's go ahead maybe over here and construct. I'm just going to continue constructing boring grids so that they can actually get around everything. I do wish there were a little bit less incentive to just build just grids around everything. Maybe if I were a little bit smarter, I wouldn't do it this way. But, you know, I want them to be able to get around, and I want to maintain city flexibility. There's nothing quite like it. Nothing quite like it. I am indeed eclectic today. I am, what is the word? Verbose. Verbose. Nah, I just, playing a game like this gets me back into that aesthetic, man. Okay, so we've got the research center. Labor more, peasants, plebs, get to work. Look at this. It's like an enlarged globe pooping out another globe. Everything in this game just says nodule to me, you know? Like a splat of whatever it is. A drive for renewal. An excavation team on a specific mission has joined us. Specific? I thought it was going to say scientific. Okay, I'll allow it. Its members would like to use our outpost to search for items they call tablets. These tablets are parts of one of the greatest mysteries behind the creation of the anchoring. Many communities scattered all around the world have started digging out such tablets simultaneously without any conscious ambition or coordination of any kind. I mean, these people do look like they have small heads. I guess they're bad at critical thinking or teamwork and very disorganized, most probably. But maybe it's the stupidity that brings them together. Although these stone slabs are engraved with unknown glyphs, everyone seems to intuitively understand them, of course. Each has triggered a technological leap for the... Okay, so the more we explore, I guess the more scientific advancement we get or something like that. So we've got the exploration and the scientific discovery mechanics going on here, which is quite nice. Unlock the explorations missions research. So we're going to go over to our research tree, and I do believe that's located more or less up here. So we do have a goodly amount of research to be had. We need to raise our efficiency, though. I believe we're going to need more people. And then in the meantime, let's just try to stock up on things. This is our city's prosperity up here. We want to keep good prosperity whilst we prepare for this expedition. We have lots of cooked meals, though, and lots of water. You know, methinks that perhaps the next thing to tackle while we embark upon our missions is the creation of a hospital, but we don't have one, so never mind that. Just ignore that and continue your day. Are we going to Smackledorf someone today, or will someone Smackledorf us? I don't know. I feel like the second I woke up, I was being Smackledorfed by, like 10 or 20 men. When I woke up today, it was I literally woke up to the sound of the cat food being deposited into the automatic cat food dispenser in my house. The alarm failed to make me rise from slumber, but apparently I have feline-like feeding characteristics inside of my body. So yeah, I would say that was how I got Smackledorfed today. Has that ever happened to you? No, it's allowed. I'm allowed to be Smackledorfed on camera, and you know that's not against TOS. That's completely allowed. They don't have a category on Twitch for it though, so that's the way it is. Unless if you do want that. Oh, wow. But, you know, to each, I'm not going to judge you for what you like. Right, here we go. So more plants grow in the area as time goes by. I've seen these things like kind of organically. Look at these sort of like kind of phallic lumps rising out of the ground. Everything is sort of like pneumatic in this universe and like boingy, you know? This is like so goofy. Like all of the art in this game. I love it. I know that it like the gameplay loop is really just very basic, but it's so hard to dislike this game because of how like much love and care has been put into it. I do hope that the gameplay loop gets a little bit more engaging because, you know, it does feel a little bit like, you know, maybe with like a very different map, you could get something very different. Anyway, right now I'm going to speed up time to 4. We've got remaining time 6 days. We've got 5 days. So days are passing by. This is only the cycle. This is the weather. We are going to get a dry season looming ahead, though, so we probably want to stock up on all of this water, too. Water is liquid that is essential for life. And if you don't get enough of it, you'll die. Unlock the exploration missions. Okay, so we're about to get to that. Are we almost there? Only 3 more days remain. I suppose we could take the time to build perhaps more tents up here. What else do we have? Some cereal. So these are our, like... Ooh, waste. I don't even know what to do with that. I'm going to have to figure that out. We've got some bark around here, too. Let's go ahead and maybe rip out some more stuff from the ground. We will rip out... Do we have any more rocks? There's usually, like, a rocky outcrop. Rocks get pooped out of the earth in this game. If you don't know, well, now you know. What is this, even? I suppose that there is, like, rock to be had over here. Why else would these be labeled as rock, after all? Oh, is this waste? Waste is to be had here as well. Perhaps refined products, not refined products. Oh, we do have some remedies for our people if we start to get sick. Where is that actually listed? I can't see it. Oh, exploring a new area. Hang on a moment. Aho, we have unlocked some more, technological research. Okay, I suppose we could do just something else, like a normal boy. Here we go. Arboriculture. No, we need to start on an expedition. No, okay, this is all of the analysis from my fungus that has been researched. I just need to go on an expedition. Where's my expedition? And... Alright, I seem to have figured out the exploration by building an exploration tent. On the world map, select the destination to launch an expedition. So we're going to go ahead and launch an expedition. We're going to use some supplies. Just a humble expedition to begin with, of course. So where are we over here? Oh, wow, we actually have 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional clouds. How amazing for us. So this is our starting area. I guess we could go maybe like just somewhere humble for this. Let's go to maybe somewhere close by. Let's go to the dune. Yeah, let's go to the dune. We'll just bring way there 3 days, way back 3 days. Okay, that's fine. A humble expedition. Look, someone in a sun hat, like one of those rice hats. Check out the expedition. Checking him out. Let's go to dune. There are 3 days of travel left. Very cool, very cool. Okay, so can we see the expedition? We are exploring a new area, so we're locating tablets then, I suppose. Anyway, we had to build this explorer's hut. Which I suppose, can we do only one at a time? An expedition is already on the way. Okay, so only one expedition at a time is allowed. Maybe we're going to need to do an entirely new area, if this is not incorrect. I think the one thing that seems slightly jarring about this game to me is the fact that where do I get my day counter? I mean, if I click into like a menu, I'll get an idea of, okay, the day is happening, but I just get cycle from here. Because the world map, okay, unknown ashes, we have the event occurring. Exciting. All right. The explorers kneel to weigh some bluish dust that has settled about a mile around. It is lighter than sand and has a metallic smell. Breathing makes them suddenly feel cold. Some conclude this sand contains icy energy granules that can be melted down to obtain water, but others are hesitant about this. The writing here is wonderful. Disturbing the dust before understanding where it comes from. They want to study its size, shape, and environmental context. Analyze. The dust particles fly about, carried by the wind before settling, grimacing at the wind. Okay, I guess a body is composed of three linked together by... What? This is like a riddle? Oh, it is sort of like a riddle. Try and translate the writing. Okay, yes. The pictograms don't reflect the complexity of an organically developed language, but rather some deliberate attempt to communicate with a civilization that shares... Okay, so it's like some sort of pictograph alien writing. The hexapod will... Alright, give me the tablet. The tablet was the whole goal of this thing to begin with anyway, right? Let's get out of the world map. Get me out of here, man. So I suppose that was allowed. What else do we have? Now we have 27. Why is everyone moving in here? Stop moving in. This is too many. I know we're, like, supposed to be building up the colony and hang-a-ding-a-durgan, but at the same time, you know. Ain't nobody got time for that. That's too many mouths to feed. Where are all these people coming from, man? Where do they be coming from? All right, let's, perhaps we have another nose picker's hut over here. I feel like nose picking would be a very good mechanic that would fit right in with this game, don't you think? Like, you need to pick your nose. And then once you get enough boogers out of it, then you can use that to build your main base. You know, I feel like that would be like a mechanic in this game, wouldn't it? Everything is like a flarfel novel. What is that tree? See, I told you everything had this, like, oddly phallic look about it. It's so, like, wobulous. Explore a new area. Okay, so have we returned from the expedition? It looks like we are almost back. Never you mind. Technological research. Oh, we could have been doing something else all along. Oh, healthcare. Yes, for God's sake. We were just having a whole discussion of healthcare. Can you nose your pick? I'd be insulted if you didn't. All right, so we did locate a tablet. I suppose... Ooh, look at these. This really reminds me of that area from Kenshi. What is it? Flats Lagoon. Or, yeah, you know what I'm saying, man? Remember that part of Kenshi? Okay, I guess we need to explore an entirely different area. It's a good thing that we're getting healthcare, though, because healthcare is quite important because everyone is probably going to die of disease in this if we don't get much more done. Let's go ahead and add some picking. Yeah, I think picking is also just acceptable here. Let's go ahead and designate some things for the picking of. We will say you get those. We've got like these finger nodules on the shore. More artifacts over there lay beyond. Let's just have them pick out everything from here. Pick away. Pick to your heart's content. The expedition has reached its destination. Pockets of life. Wow, look at that illustration, man. It's like playing through a comic book. Explorers aren't hoping for much. I guess if you kind of play this game like a narrative game, it kind of has that feel about it. The explorers aren't hoping for much. How many ponds seen from afar have actually been mirages? For once, though, the long journey leads to a region full of lakes. Of course, the water is mostly toxic, but our supplies could use a new source. We could have more water. I think we already have quite a lot of water, though. What about soft fibers? We don't really have any of those. I'm pretty sure we don't have any of those. That is to say. All right, first contact. Our outpost is now a solid base, and we are ready to start our anthropological mission. What is it, anyway? Our next task is to investigate what brought us here. The Chalcedony Mesa, one of the most ancient villages. I don't know what it's about, but it sounds delicious. One of the most ancient villages in the region seems to have developed into quite the city. Now, that could be somewhat exaggerated, but we have to find that city, take a census of its population, and offer them our friendship if they so wish. Oh, I need to read this next word. We have spotted an observation tower nearby, which is one of the only obvious signs of any urban agglomeration in the vicinity. It will therefore be an ideal place to start our research. It seems so full of purpose and chutzpah. Send an expedition to the observation tower. Whatever you say. See, I have no idea what the purpose is of this. What am I even supposed to be doing here? It really does feel a little bit all over the place, I gotta say, this game. Although I am enjoying this sort of just random nature of everything in it. Okay, so you are back sitting on the side of that. Can we maybe get a fourth person here to get you working? Or maybe we need to store more water somehow. We aren't even at full capacity there, after all. That is to say, you aren't stirring around the green goop to try to get some type of blue water out of it. Work harder. All right, let's check back on the... So they've got 3 more days to return back to the city. Like I said, I gotta say, it feels like playing through a comic book to play this game. Let's go ahead and get a forge in here, too. Forge is quite useful. We haven't built it yet, but it is good for, like, the refinement of minerals or something like that. We'll also get an infirmary, maybe near the houses. Or maybe just not near the houses. Maybe we'll just put it over here, because why not? And then let's have another path. There we go. Alright, cool. Seems a little bit far. Yeah, let's build a little bit closer toward the water over here. Giant fungus among us. It does seem feasible that this could have taken place in the Kenshi universe, doesn't it? Right, what is this? A remedy production. Oh, this would actually be quite useful. Why are we not allowed to do it yet, though? Why not? Why ever not? Pharmaceutical factory refining. Oh, cost and conditions. We need 10 tools. Okay, so if we want to get tools, I believe we need to craft those in the forge. One thing I'll say is that, you know, I've been a little bit, like, I guess, harsh right here. I'm like, oh, it's so simple. It's a good thing that this game isn't overcomplicated, because I could very easily see that happening and just alienating people from the casual crowd. You know what I mean? Because I feel as though this is sort of like what one might call a gateway game. And that might sound sinister and maybe evil, but, you know, I mean that in a good way, of course. Send an expedition to the... So we need to go to the observation tower. Where is said observation tower? Stream, swamp, forest area, desert area, camp, strange glow. Where is this observation tower? Is it off over yonder in the distance, m'lady? It is beautiful, though. This world map is... My god, if only every game had this much love put into its art. Desert area. Accessible, accessible. Hang on a moment. Where is this observation tower? Okay, so the search for the mesa continues. Chalcedony Mesa. We unfortunately did not find it before, but hang on a second. Let's just go ahead and designate a little bit more food here, because we're kind of running a little bit low. We have to get more people in the picker's cabin. Maybe we should get more picker's cabins somewhere else, because we've kind of civilized this entire area, and now it's just fungus, and who even knows what that is. I think we could also... Yeah, we might have to just get a whole other picker's cabin out here. Look at this other picker's cabin. Picking and and packing they go. Now we've got the dry season too, and maybe we'll all die. Try to think on the bright side. Anyway, we've got our expedition coming back. This is the mountain area. We're looking for the observation post near the mesa. Apparently the mountain isn't mason enough. So we're going to have to go over to the desert area, but I guess we have to wait again for our expedition here. It's really sort of like a waiting game, though. How long can you keep your people alive while you do poorly planned expeditions, I guess? A little bit that is there as a consideration, I suppose. Let's go ahead and maybe just move this over here. Part of me is just slightly confused. Like, why would we expand our civilization if we're just going to make everyone thirsty and die, you know? Because that seems to be the primary adversary here. I guess if we want more people, like, you know, more hands working in unison can accomplish more, but at the same time, more mouths thirsting in unison thirst irrationally much so. That is to say. Let's go analyze these trees. We could figure out what those are. What are these as well? No one even knows. No one even knows. We are getting more prosperity in our civilization. We could start to get... Do we have any districts yet? We might want to start to get some other... We do have an infirmary now, so even those ailing in health are able to find some sort of respite from their conditions. I think if we get some type of remedy production, because we could all get sick and die. Trading would also be nice, but do we have tool? We do have tool production. Toxic water. Advanced harvest methods. Oh my! Ooh, my lips are watering in excitement. Oh wait a minute. No, that's not watering in excitement. Where am I going with this? We were going to create culture. Where is culture? Maybe is that under trading? I dare say it may be. Let's just have it anyway. We need some sort of social research to occur, because these people will require... they get pickier. City health is at 100%. We're doing quite okay, though, too. Plenty of water, plenty of water. Just need this picker's hut. Okay, we have another picker's hut occurring over here. Have we assigned people to this one as well? We have. Okay, we're fine. Let's go over here. No more children. The children have ascended to adulthood. Let's pick, and maybe even some trimming will occur. Here we go. Good enough. Good enough. Now this is getting very far from home, but they walk quickly because they're originally all New Yorkers, and they just have a brisk ambulatory gait. Hang on a second. Whoops. Okay. Keep moving outward even further because there's nothing here. We just live in a desert wasteland. Yeah, go that way. Or is there even any point? I guess we could have gone over there instead, but whatever. Right. Leave the map. Why don't you? And what do I have highlighted right here? There we go. All right. Well, okay, so our civilization is functioning. Nobody died. Nobody died of disease. Nobody went crazy. Nobody had to have their blood sucked out by leeches. All of these were things that could have happened. Just taking a moment of gratitude right here. Okay, so our civilization is up and running, and we've got most of our systems online as far as I can see. I mean, there is quite a lot more to the technology in this. Like, if we look at all of the different technological trees we've got available, Hall of Wisdom, all the cultural centers that we really could be spending more time on, except that I've seen into a bit more of the content on this game, or I've checked out a couple of other videos, and a lot of it seems to be like building wide. So we could do that. Right now, I'm kind of standing by that. It just feels a little bit more like more mouths to feed. But the one thing that I'm just finding a little, I guess, undersatisfying about the gameplay loop is just the amount of time. Like, there's not really any primary antagonistic force in this game. You know, we're not being attacked, which kind of keeps the tension from... There's not really a moment of tension and satisfaction and resolution at the end of it. It's just sort of like we're sort of starving and then we sort of aren't anymore. We've built up some supplies, so you don't really get those little arcs of satisfaction over it, as far as I can tell in that way. I mean, not that I'm like upset by the game is beautiful, and I feel like that this might just be kind of a mechanical hurdle. Anyway, at least as far as I don't really play as many relaxing genre games, so take everything I have to say with a grain of salt. But at the same time, it is like 12 days until our expedition gets back. I think they got lost in the desert or something like that. So we're sort of just kind of stuck waiting on an expedition to return because I need to find an observation tower. Except I can't really locate this. I think it's supposed to be at the mesa, and this is the most mesa-like thing I can seem to find over here. Unless if it's just something that I'm totally missing. Which is a possibility, I'm not gonna lie. Feel free to call me out if I just haven't seen it, so that other people can see what is missing from this. But for right now, it's just slightly odd that I need to keep waiting for an expedition to come back. Might be nice if I could have out, I don't know, 2 or 3 expeditions at once, since that seems to be a primary kind of mechanic here. Otherwise, I mean, we aren't dying of thirst. The polluted water is beautiful. Man, this game really is pretty. Like, all that considered, it is just a pleasure to look at this. And I really hope that those few mechanical things just make it a little bit more, I guess, exciting to watch. Everything as it folds out, that is to say. But yeah, I mean, for right now, I feel as though that is about as far as I can go. I mean, I could probably do a few more hours here and find a couple of other updates, but right now it's mostly just kind of looking at the food stores. Fortunately, it's not like needlessly difficult. I mean, we have enough food and stuff like that. Whoops, I just X'd out of the goals. Okay, I guess I could just leave that there. Or is this my goals? This is my quest log. There we go. Okay. I mean, everything else as far as like the story goes seems fine. Maybe I should have tried the sandbox mode instead. Perhaps that would have led to like greater challenge or something. But yeah, I mean, that's about where I'm at with Synergy right now. I'll be curious to see where this game goes with early access, if there's anything else added or changed or anything like that. Really a pleasure to see a game like this fully realized in its vision, at least in terms of seeing a game with just beautiful art like this. Right now, I'm kind of curious if more of those mechanical ideas or like things will get worked out or whatever is planned for them, or if it's just more content or what'll happen in early access. So yep, I'll be on the lookout for it. But I think I'm going to leave it there for today because that's about as far as I am willing to take it with this one. But yep, again, let me know if I missed anything, but otherwise, yep, that's where it's at. And anyway, thanks for checking this out in Synergy. Anyway, until next time.